Hey, 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 another day. Let's see what they say. I thought becoming a dad would transform me into a macho figure. I was wrong. Sound like you were a bitch. Yep. Oh, bitch. Few archetypes are less relevant to modern parenting than the father figure. What? Need the father figure, especially if it was your father. Millennia of culture have encouraged a vision of the father as a strong, powerful man able to defend his home and hearth while encouraging moral backbone in his many children. That's a good thing. In the olden days, with a sword, more recently with Bubba. Buppa? Bupa? What the? That better be a type of gun. I don't know what the hell that is. Although he could be stern, he was also fair. Discipline was his department. Even Don Draper, the adulterous alcoholic advertising executive and hero of Mad Men, was he a hero? You didn't describe a hero. Nobody's idea of a dad of the year managed to pull off being disappointing in quite a chick manner, building a wooden Wendy house while sinking cans of beer. Oh, nobody's idea of dad of the year. I don't know what the hell any of that meant. Before I had children, I wondered if something about the experience would transform me into a more macho figure. If you were a bitch before, you're gonna be a bitch after. Because having children doesn't exactly make you more manly. Uh, Probably has the opposite effect. I have never been easy to confuse for John Hamm. I know who he is. Who looks like he was carved by Rodin. Who the hell is Rodin? But I hoped I might grow into the role a bit. With the responsibility of my new office bearing on my shoulders, I would become more of a traditional patriarch. You don't have to be a traditional patriarch. Just do the thing that your wife is not doing. The protecting, discipline, all that stuff. Just do that. Teamwork. My office would smell of mahogany and pipe smoke. When I emerged from it, it would be to dispense wisdom. Why do you live in a fantasy? No wonder you're a bitch. That's what you imagine what men do? I would point out small errors in homework and teach my children how to bowl leg spin. God, this dude is weird. Make it fire and in time shoot a gun. Make it fire? Why? I would be loved and respected. Maybe in your own head. Maybe even slightly feared when the occasion called for it. None of this came to pass. No shit. If any dregs of machismo lingered, parenthood quickly drained them. It came as no surprise to read that by analyzing 11 studies, including more than 20,000 men, scientists at the University of Western Australia found married men to have lower levels of testosterone than single ones. Obviously. Because the things that required to increase testosterone, mainly being challenge, difficulty, competition, those kinds of things, you have less of that when you're married because you take less risk because you're married. You're not really trying to be challenged. You're doing a job to provide an income for your family. Like all of the conditions necessary for testosterone to be up is just not non-existent. One of the researchers said that the lower levels might reflect the stresses of family life, including children in the household. It's not the stress, it's just you have to mellow out at that point. If you have kids, you have a wife. You can't really talk to your wife and act around your wife and your family the same way you would around just other men. You can't do the same things. You have to mellow out. So that means your testosterone levels have to be down, because that would make you more aggressive if it wasn't. All right. I suppose cooking looks quite tough when Marco Pierre White does it, but you don't often see him blending salmon, broccoli, and sweet potato to make freezer mush. The closest I have come to hunting and gathering is bulk buying nappies off on Amazon. This is a weird dude, man. You don't have to go out hunting. Just be a man. It's really not that difficult. All you have to do is take responsibility for the challenging things in life, like, you know, make sure your family is safe, do the things that need to be done, make sure that they are also doing the things that need to be done. So you set rules and boundaries and that kind of stuff. That's all you have to do. You just be the one that's in charge, making sure that everybody get what they need to get and do what they need to do. And you just don't have to be that strict about it, but you just have to generally be that person. That's it. As long as you take responsibility for your household and your family's safety and all that stuff, everything else is automatic, because you're going to be doing the things that are required to keep them safe and secure and all that stuff. Forget Don Draper. God damn, you have a crush on this dude, don't you? The realistic model for modern fatherhood is Kevin from Motherland. I don't know who that is. The BBC parenting comedy. A beta, possibly a epsilon male beta, who trundles around on a bicycle, tries to be friends with all the mums at the gates, and is master of all the children's schedules. See, a stay-at-home dad? It's this weird shit. Few would argue for a return to the bad old days. What? What's the bad old days? I mean, it was bad in the sense that things were harder. Although I haven't looked at the Republican presidential candidates' manifestos in detail, now you're being political. But at least it was expected that fathers would work. I mean, it's still expected today. It's going to be expected every day. I mean, it's even now expected that mothers would work. So the risk today is that we use ignorance and incompetence to excuse not doing anything. Okay, neither hunting nor gathering nor putting bins out. Not doing anything. Double negative. Why? My Spotify playlists were a final. God, I lost all energy for this. I don't understand what this guy's talking about. These were a sanctuary of stroppy adolescent tastes where I would be recommending. What does that have to do with you being a bitch and not feeling like a man? But the revolution have reached there to halfway. God. How do you think fatherhood has changed? Fatherhood hasn't really changed. The same responsibilities you had before, the same responsibilities you have today. The things that have changed are the men. They just don't want to take responsibility. It's too hard. They're worried that people are not going to like them. Or people might call them toxic. Or they don't want to be feared. They don't want to have to tell their wives no or their children no, or, be that guy. Just stop being a pussy. Do what needs to be done because it needs to be done. And if someone else does it, they're going to resent you for it. So, till next time.